So, hi, me again. Um, just continuing with our reflective models, getting into our next two now. The first I'm going to introduce is David Kolb's um, theory of experiential learning. This is one that I've used uh, quite often in my coaching, mentoring, and training practices. And it enables us to reflect on experience as the other two models have done, but also get us to think at a deeper level. And the second model I'll introduce you to builds on those two. So this will be the fourth model, our Gibbs cycle. So let's share my screen and we can dive into this. So this is the Kolb learning model. And just to explain a little bit about what's going on here, he based this theory, David Kolb, in 1984, and talked about how people learn. This model centers on the concept of developing an understanding through actual experience. So it's essentially experiential learning. And it contains these four steps: concrete experience. So this is where we experience something. We then go into the second phase, which is reflective observation. So this is building on similar to the other two models that we've described. Then we go into a phase of abstract conceptualization, and then into active experimentation. So just explaining each one of these a little bit. Concrete experience, this is where the learner encounters a concrete experience. It's something you've done or you're doing. And this might be a new experience, or it could be a situation or something that you've done before. But then we stop and we think and we start to reflect and observe on the new experience. The learner reflects on the new experience in the light of maybe their existing knowledge, what knowledge they've built on since the last time they had this experience. And of particular importance here are there any inconsistencies between the experience and our understanding of that experience? Then into abstract conceptualization, where we reflect, and this gives rise to a new idea, maybe a modification, a change, a tweak, a twerk on whatever we were trying to achieve. And then we'll actually go out and actively experiment and try this new situation out, then back to the concrete experience, reflection, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. And if you think about this in terms of your own experience of learning, both as a child and as an adult, if you think about riding a bike, who taught you to ride a bike? I often ask this of my learners, and they'll say, "Oh, it's my mum or my dad." But actually, when you think about it, what probably happened was you observed your friends enjoying themselves on their bikes, and you thought, "Wow, if I don't get involved in that, I'm going to lose out on a few adventures." We watched, we observed, we saw what was happening, and then we tried it out. And it was that experiential learning, getting on the bike, falling off, getting our balance, pushing your legs a bit faster, etc. This was how we progressed in areas of experiential learning. So we can use this once again in individual reflection, or as a coach, as a mentor, in supporting our learners understand and think about the experience, giving them one or two ideas, maybe sharing resources, getting them to read and think about those resources, and then trying out in the real world. So if you think about the opportunity of learning in the workplace, this can really get them to go out of the mentoring session, out into the real world, try it out, come back, reflect, and using reflection supported by a mentor or a coach. The next opportunity that we have, the next model, is the Gibbs reflective cycle. Now, this is quite complex. It's the model builds on the other three and adds far more stages. And it's one of the more complex models of reflection, but it may be that you find having multiple stages of the process to guide you more reassuring. But as with the other models, what Gibbs begins with is an outline of the experience being reflected on. It then encourages us to focus on our feelings about the experience, both during and after. The next step involves us evaluating that experience. What was good or bad? What can we take from it? We can then use the evaluation to analyze the situation and try to make sense of it. This analysis will result in conclusions about what other actions, if any, we could have taken to reach, and then come to some conclusions, and then produce some form of action plan that helps us go and change the status quo, or change the environment. So these further two models are opportunities for individual reflection, or again, working as a thinking partner, as a mentor or coach, and enable us to support that our clients' own reflective practice. So we're going to build on this in the next video, but we've introduced you to 4 models to date. Now, if you think about these 4 models, reflect on your own experience of thinking about how you might use and apply these models, then we'll go into our 5th model, which is the Johari window. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening.